Hello, NBA fans. Daily news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a fan of the Lakers show and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and give it a like. Many NBA players request trades to join other great players, and if this happens with Giannis Antetokounmpo asking to be traded to the Bucks, Los Angeles will do everything possible to sign him, and to do so, they will need to involve Austin Reaves in the negotiations. Even so, it's advantageous because the Lakers will have the best duo in the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Luka Doncic, and together they could seek some championships for the Lakers. But this will only happen if Giannis Antetokounmpo asks to be traded. The Los Angeles Lakers are not afraid to go out and make big moves. They have proven that over the course of the history of the franchise, including just last year. Rob Pelinka went out and got Luka Doncic last year from the Mavericks to secure the future of the franchise for the next few years. He will be the player that they build around. Doncic isn't the only great player that the Lakers could have on their roster in the next few years. One insider believes that they could have the pieces to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Lakers insider believes they could have enough players to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Lakers insider Anthony Irwin believes that the Lakers could have enough pieces to make a move for the Bucks superstar at the trade deadline or some other point during the season. He said so during Lakers Lounge. It's almost a surefire thing that if the Lakers and the Bucks get into trade negotiations for Giannis, the first name in terms of players that Milwaukee is going to ask about is Reaves, Irwin said. And then it's like, well, do you want Giannis or do you want to try to keep Reaves here? Irwin believes that the Lakers would use Austin Reaves as the centerpiece of a trade for Antetokounmpo. More pieces would need to be added in any trade for him. The Lakers would need to empty the cupboard in order to land Antetokounmpo. If the Lakers are going to have any chance of adding Antetokounmpo to the roster, they will need to truly empty the cupboard. The Bucks are going to extract everything they possibly can if they are forced to get rid of him. Milwaukee will only trade the superstar forward if he decides that he wants out. Otherwise, he will continue his career with the Bucks. They don't want to trade him under any circumstances. LA would have to add multiple first-round picks, swaps, Rui Hachimura, and likely another solid player in order to make it work. This past season with the Bucks, Antetokounmpo averaged 30.4 points, 11.9 rebounds, and 6.5 assists per game. He shot 60.1% from the field and 22.2% from beyond the three-point arc. The trade value of Gabe Vincent is not where it needs to be for the Los Angeles Lakers. Few players stick out as more obvious trade candidates for the Los Angeles Lakers than Gabe Vincent. That is what makes it all the more disappointing when analyzing the type of value Vincent has around the league right now. Jovan Buha discussed the matter on a recent episode of his podcast, Buha's Block. The Lakers insider did not offer an optimistic viewpoint of how Vincent and fellow trade candidate Maxi Kleber are being discussed. Buha said, both guys, depending on who you talk to, depending on who you survey, have somewhere between slightly negative to just negative value. I would not consider either one of these guys neutral to positive value players, in terms of their contract, even with being on an expiring. The silver lining offered by the Lakers reporter was how this could shift in closer proximity to the trade deadline. Right now, the market is just not there for Vincent or Kleber. Gabe Vincent will need to rebuild his reputation early with the Lakers. Another brutal playoff flop for Vincent in Los Angeles has continued to grow the regret of the initial signing during the summer of 2023. Many have quickly started looking towards Bronny James as someone who can push the Lakers' guard out of the rotation entirely. Vincent joined the Lakers off the back of a strong 2023 playoff run with the Miami Heat. The former Heat guard averaged 12.7 points and 3.5 assists per game, shooting 37.8% from beyond the arc, and playing hard-nosed defense throughout the team's push to the NBA Finals. In 2 seasons with the Lakers, Vincent has averaged a painful 2.1 points and 0.8 assists in 16.8 minutes per game off the bench during his 10 appearances. The shooting numbers of 30.8% from the field and 25% from distance are equally dreadful. October through February needs to be the period in which Vincent rebuilds his value for the Lakers. Otherwise, Rob Pelinka will have a very tough time delivering on the type of opportunism that is needed for Los Angeles to truly elevate themselves among the top Western Conference powerhouses. Perhaps Vincent can even earn enough goodwill to truly make the Lakers believe it is in their best interests to keep him around. However, gambling on the inconsistencies of the backup guard is a very unreliable bet for a team searching for a path to title contention. The hope here would be that last time Vincent was in a contract year, the streaky guard delivered. If that is the case for the Lakers in 2025-26, selling high will be exactly what they need. Lakers still face a painful reality at the center position. The Los Angeles Lakers will be good this season. That's what happens when you have Luka Doncic and LeBron James on the same team with a handful of good to great role players around them. I believe this team will win loads of games and compete for a top 3 seed in the Western Conference. The center position is still kind of a mess. It's better than it was last year, surely, thanks to some free agency luck this offseason when the Trailblazers cut ties with DeAndre Ayton and he fell into the Lakers' laps. But Ayton is anything but a consistent presence on the low block. If anything, he's a frustratingly inconsistent presence at the position. And now the Lakers are banking on him to be there every night, 30-plus minute per game center with no real backup plan, other than praying that his off games can be mitigated by the brilliance of the playmakers around him. Is it the worst plan in the world? Not really, because Ayton's new teammates truly are brilliant and his role in Los Angeles will be markedly smaller than it was in Portland or Phoenix for that matter. If he can master the low-volume, high-efficiency role, then maybe center doesn't look like as much of a. Ayton also won't be able to completely hide in the background for the Lakers. Luka relies a lot on his center, and some nights the Lakers will need him to dominate and he's going to need to prove that he can do that when called upon. Remember, Ayton got cut from the Portland Trailblazers for 20-year-old rookie Young Hansen. The team, which drafted a center in the first round last year, drafted another center in the first round this year, even while Ayton was still on the roster. That's how ready they were to move on from him. Can any of the Lakers centers be called upon nightly? Behind Ayton, the center position gets very scary, very quickly. Jackson Hayes serves as the presumed backup 5, and Maxi Kleber, who the Lakers acquired in the Luka deal, could play some spot minutes if he's healthy, but hasn't played more than 43 games in 3 seasons. I don't expect Christian Koloko, who the Lakers signed this offseason, to be much of a factor either. This might not be a reason to fret. Like I said, adding Ayton is an upgrade, full stop. But if the Lakers want to be contenders in the West, there can't be a true weak spot in the lineup. We just watched the Thunder win it all because they basically don't have any holes on their roster, especially in the front court, toppling the Pacers, who didn't have a ton of center depth but at least had the reliable Miles Turner at the 5. Do the Lakers even have that level of reliability heading into 2025-26? I'm not so sure. Lakers' interest in Jonathan Kuminga is already crystal clear. No spacing. No defense. No thanks. Despite the trade rumors circulating, the truth is that the Los Angeles Lakers do not have a serious interest in trading for Jonathan Kuminga, and for good reason. He does not fit what this team needs right now, and forcing the idea just because he is young and has some upside would be a mistake. According to Jovan Buha on Buha's blog, there has been some stuff about him viewing himself at a certain level. There's a fine line between confidence and delusion, and some of the stuff that's come out of Kuminga's camp has trended more on the delusion side. Jonathan Kuminga trade would create more Lakers problems. That right there in itself is a major red flag, especially for a Lakers team that just handed Luka Doncic a $165 million extension and made him the clear centerpiece of the franchise. There is now no more room for ego battles, and certainly no space for another ball-dominant player who does not shoot well from outside or move well off the ball. Kuminga's biggest issue is not talent, but rather how he views the role he should be placed in. He does not want to be a role player. Buha went on to state in his podcast that he's going to want to start and have a certain role and a certain amount of touches, and I just don't think that makes a lot of sense. If he came to Los Angeles, he would not be there to compliment Luka. He would want to be there so the Los Angeles bright lights shine directly onto him. The fit on the floor is just as questionable. Kuminga does not space the floor well. Last season, he shot just 30.5% from deep. If the Lakers are going to make a trade, they need someone who can help solve their three-point shooting problems, not add to them. It is also important to note that he is not a plus defender yet and does not offer much playmaking. In the 4 seasons he has played, he has only averaged 1.8 assists per game. Pairing him with Doncic would shrink the floor and disrupt the rhythm of an offense that needs clarity and structure, not more improvisation. The Lakers are trying to win now. They are not rebuilding, and they need to stop and find a proper direction. The idea of Kuminga in purple and gold might sound fun, but it lacks real traction within the organization, and that is as it should be. Lakers' path forward demands a calculated Rob Pelinka strategy. The Los Angeles Lakers will be staying put with what they have until opportunity strikes. The Los Angeles Lakers have been quiet, eerily quiet. Does that mean Rob Pelinka is brewing another seismic event in Hollywood? This time around, the answer is probably not. Kyler Kelly was just signed by the Lakers to a training camp deal. Pelinka and company have not been completely inactive. However, for the most part, the franchise appears to be settled with the roster they intend to bring into the start of the 2025-26 NBA season. In all fairness, the Lakers have done a sufficient amount of movement to be comfortable with where they stand ahead of training camp. DeAndre Ayton was brought in as the new starting center. Marcus Smart was a strong defensive addition. Jake LaRavia could prove to be the steal of the offseason. Now, it is all about patience. Making moves in the offseason is always expensive, to some degree. For the Lakers, who have limited avenues to improving what they have, finding the right moment to strike during the 2025-26 season could be the difference between contending and pretending. Rob Pelinka's next move could define Lakers' championship. This upcoming campaign could be the last opportunity the Lakers have to win with a duo of Luka Doncic and LeBron James. While continuing to have Doncic in the mix will provide more opportunity overall, there are only so many times a team will possess the most unfair superstar advantage in the NBA. For Pelinka, that means the upside will be almost as large as the pressure. This is especially true considering what the Lakers have to work with. Dan Woik recently reminded everyone how limited the asset pool is for the Lakers. 2 tradable draft picks, 1 first, 1 second, and some low-value swaps is what they are working with. It was the reason the beat writer thought another major move before the season should not be counted upon. Woik wrote, "I believe it's way more likely that the Lakers would rather look at the roster that they've built, assess the strengths and weaknesses and try to improve during the season than use any of their limited draft arsenal to get a deal done now. When those assessments are done, there is a growing expectation the Lakers will be active." ESPN's group of NBA insiders voted the Lakers as the second most likely team to make a big move before the trade deadline. They only trailed the Golden State Warriors in that category. Lakers fans hoping this is not the final team that heads into the 2026 NBA playoffs should find comfort in that. However, patience will be key as Pelinka needs to be afforded the wiggle room to make the right move, not just a serviceable one. Dwight Howard felt betrayed when Lakers pulled their contract offer after 2020 title run. Howard recalls being highly upset after losing the chance to defend the Lakers' 2020 title. Most NBA champions get a chance to defend their title, but Dwight Howard never had the opportunity after capturing his first championship in 2020. While the Lakers initially offered a deal, they rescinded the contract in a move that left the veteran big man feeling betrayed. "I was told that there was a contract, and then I was so happy that I heard I was coming back. I tweeted about it, and my agent called me back and said, 'Hey.' The Lakers took the contract off the table," said Howard in an interview with Brandon Scoop B. Robinson. "You gotta take that tweet down." I was like, damn. Why would they do that? And it really kind of messed with me. As a former superstar and face of the Orlando Magic, Dwight certainly had ambitions of a bigger role on the Lakers, and he felt he earned it after helping the Lakers to their first championship since 2010. "I came in with the right attitude towards winning, not worried about points, rebounds," added Howard. "I was just worried about us winning another championship, And so many people made a big emphasis on me worrying about points and all that stuff, which I think all players want to get out in the game and score and be effective. Howard firmly believes that the Lakers could have won multiple more championships if they had run it back with the same core. So when Howard found out he would not be coming back, it struck a nerve that he still feels to this day. I was highly upset that I didn't get a chance to compete for a title defense because I believed that we had a special team and we had a window where we could have won and been to the NBA Finals multiple years. The 2019-20 Lakers squad was dominant. With LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Alex Caruso, and Howard, they went 52-19 in a season that was interrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite the tragic death of Kobe Bryant and being forced to play in a quarantine bubble, the Lakers maintained their focus and won the championship to complete a historic season. While Howard played a relatively minor role off the bench, he still made a notable impact with averages of 7.5 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 1.1 blocks per game on 72.9% shooting as a vital rim protector off the bench. Instead of bringing back that same roster, however, the Lakers pivoted to change things up by signing Marc Gasol, Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, Wesley Matthews, and Markieff Morris. In exchange, the Lakers let go of Howard, Rajon Rondo, and JaVale McGee. While the swaps may have been upgrades on paper, the results were actually a decline for the Lakers, who went 42-30 to finish 7th in the West. In the end, Dwight joined the 76ers for one season before re-signing with the Lakers in 2021-22. While Howard would rejoin the Lakers in the last act of his career, it did not end in a championship, and Howard hasn't stopped thinking about what was potentially left on the table. Had the Lakers been given a chance to defend their crown, things might have turned out differently, but we'll never get the chance to find out.